I am here with author Sharyn Weiss. She is the author of The Perfect Plan, and I want to just pick her brain a little bit about her book. Sharyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about your book, The Perfect Plan?
Well, it got started when I was doing our ministry. My husband and I had a Bible ministry where we would buy boxes of Bibles, and we would go to apartment complexes, neighborhoods, houses, and just give them away with a tract and with an advertisement for a local church. And so before he retired, I would also go out with girlfriends from church. And so we were living in Sequim, Washington at the time, and we went to the low-income housing, and we started working our way through the complex and giving the Bibles away. Well, it took several days to get through the complex. And as each time we went, children started following us, and they were saying, "What are you doing?" And we'd say, "We're giving away Bibles. What's a Bible? Who's Jesus?" They didn't know anything, but they loved being with us. And so we decided that we would start a Bible club in the complex, and we got permission to do it in one of the apartments. And and then we named the club the King's Club. So it started out with me drawing pictures on poster board of Jesus and all the stories that I would tell them about Jesus. So I had about 14 pictures, and it was just awesome. I started telling the story that is in the book, and children got saved. We started a bus ministry for a while in Sequim. We would give candy away and toys, and we would sing songs, and it was awesome. Then my husband and I he retired, and we moved to Gresham, Oregon. And so we continued the ministry in the apartments. We did 12 apartment complexes, then we started a bus ministry. My husband bought 2 used buses, and so we would bus the children to a local church, family worship center in Gresham, Oregon. And so then 9/11 happened, and the apartments didn't want Christian clubs in the apartments anymore. So, but we had the bus ministry still continues today. It's been about 20 years, over 20 years. And so we just continued giving away Bibles. But then my grandchildren were starting to be born, and I thought, I need a book. And so I reduced the size of the pictures to the size of a book. And then I started writing out what I told the children each time about Jesus. I wrote it out in a story form. And so I had my own little book for many, many years. I gave it to whoever needed it, children's ministry, anyone with children. So I did that for many, many years. And then my husband passed away in 2021. And last June, I thought, I wonder if I could do something with this book. And so that's when I started I just called 2 publishers. I called you, and I called another one in Pennsylvania. And both of the publishers accepted the book. I chose Covenant because it was a Christian business. And so that's where we are now.
I love that. And you kind of touched on this a little bit before, but what really inspired you to put it on paper and get it published? Was it your grandchildren, or was it just the thought that you had all of these stories written out already, so why not get them published?
It started with my grandchildren. I thought I want my grandchildren to hear the gospel. When my daughter was young, I went to Christian bookstores and I said, do you have a Christian book that explains the plan of salvation and like Jesus dying on the cross? And I was told, no, we don't have that. And no, we want to stay away from that. And I thought, oh my goodness. And so that was always in the back of my mind. We need a book to explain the plan of salvation to children. And so then when my grandchildren were they were children, toddlers, I thought I need a book. And so it was basically the same thing that I told the children in the apartment complex, only in a smaller book form. And so then I wanted to get the book out to as many children as possible, because I perfected the plan of telling it. I could see the expressions on their faces. I could see, as I told the story, that what worked and what didn't work. And so when we went to the apartments, they were touched. They were touched by Jesus. They were touched that Jesus would die for them and for their sins, and that they would be forgiven and he would wash away their sins. And it was so real to the children. And I knew it was powerful. I knew it was real. I knew that I had to share it with other children, with as many children as possible. And so that's what I did. And now, with the condition of our country, our children are in trouble. They need Jesus. They're not being taught about Jesus. They don't know what he did for them. And that's what made me call a publisher. I thought, we've got to get the message out. Children don't know. They don't know Jesus, and they need to know him, and they need to have power in their lives to live for him, and to not they need to be godly. They need to know what it is to be godly and to know Jesus.
Absolutely. That's so inspiring and so touching, and watching you explain how many years you put into ministry, and now you're carrying that on through book form. I just love that. And when did you realize that you were a published author? Has that really dawned on you yet?
Just a couple months ago. Because I never considered myself an author. I considered myself an evangelist. Mm-hmm. That was my desire. My great-grandmother, who lived in the 1800s, she was a Methodist evangelist, and she traveled all over the country as an evangelist. And her husband was a carpenter, and he would work as a carpenter wherever they went. And I think I just got that from her. And then she had my grandfather, and two of his brothers became pastors. And so it just runs in our family. I think that's why I have it in me to do what I've done. I mean, when we were passing out Bibles door to door, I had Christians say to me, "Why are you doing this?" And I thought, how could you say, why are you doing this? because people need to know they don't. So many people would answer the door and say, "Oh, I've never had a Bible before. I would love one." We had such a positive response to giving away Bibles. And I think it's just in me to do what I've done. But I never planned on being an author. I never thought of myself as an author until I was asked to write about the author and to write the back page. And when I did that, I prayed. I said, "Lord, help me know what to say. Help me know what to put on the back page and what to write about the author." And I think I did it in a half an hour. I think I did both of them within a half an hour. It flowed out of me. And I thought, well, maybe I am an author.
Yes, I would say so.
But that's when it dawned on me, well, this book has been about 25 years in the making. It'll probably be the only book I write. But I just started thinking, well, I guess maybe I am an author.
Well, thank you so much, Sharyn, for your time. Once again, she is the author of The Perfect Plan. You can get that on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Thank you so much, Sharyn, and we'll be hearing from you again.